Hi everybody, welcome back to another video. So today's video is going to be about 5 tips and tricks about starting a business. Basically, this is going to be kind of like a continuation slash update of the video I made about a year ago. It was one of the first videos on my channel, and that was about starting a teenage business. It will be up here in the corner if you want to go check that video out. So some of the tips might be repeats, but they might be a little bit more updated and a little bit more new. And then some of them are going to be from actually some of your guys' comments that you guys commented on my video that I feel like I could go a little bit more into detail with. And some of them are going to be completely new. With that said, if you have any tips and tricks about your business that you run that you think might be helpful to the lovely community we have here, make sure you leave them down in the comments below because it never hurts to help people out. Also, I'm sorry for not posting Friday or Monday. Took a little bit of a break. I'm sorry, even though I just had a big break, but I wanted to push this video through. So we're gonna get this done. Sorry, before we get into the video, I also just went to the dentist, so if I'm like kind of talking lopsided, I like literally can't feel this side of my face. So yeah, all right, let's get into the video.
And I've been chillin', watching the ocean with you, baby, up with a slow motion crew. And we up in our clouds when people change, but not us. And we just chillin', kicking it, kissed by the sun. Could be soaked to the skin in the mall soon. I know she got the good vibes when seasons change, but we're the same.
Okay, so starting off, the first thing that I'm going to be talking about in this tips and tricks video is how to pick a name for your business. So I actually seen a comment on this on my channel, and so this person was curious on how to pick a name for their business. And honestly, it can be anything you want it to be. There's no guidelines or anything you have when picking your name unless it's copyrighted. Okay, you want to make sure that your name isn't already being used by a business somewhere else, so when you go, if your business does get big enough in the future, you don't run into any problems with that. But besides that, your business is free to name it anything you want. But here are some guidelines or things that I personally used when picking my name that I feel like might help you, but you totally don't have to take your advice. You have total creative freedom when it comes to picking your business name. But here are some things that I used to help me pick out my name. So the first thing you might want your business name to be is meaningful. So you want your business name to have some type of meaning. So if somebody comes up to you and they're like, oh, how did you come up with the name for your business? You want to say, oh, you know, it's a nickname that my grandma used to call me as a kid, and I felt like it'd be a good thing to start my business. Or you can just say like, oh, me and my friend really liked this name, thought it was cool. Any meaning is fine as long as it has meaning. You just want to make sure that it's meaningful to you, and that's basically it. So that's something that I would keep in mind when picking your business name. Something else that might help is a business name generator. So basically, if you already have an idea of like what you might want your name to, like what some like words you might want your name to include, you can put your words into a business name generator. You can also just use this if you have no idea at all, but if you just have some like key terms to type in, that would be a good place to start. But a business name generator will generate hundreds of names, including your key terms or not including your key terms, whatever website you decide to use. There's a whole bunch of free ones out here. Shopify actually has a free name generator, and I'll link that down in my description below that you can use. And basically you'll just have a list of hundreds of names with your key terms, and you can look at them, change them, tweak them, or anything you want. But these are all possible business names that you can use. So something like this might help you start forming ideas of how you might want your business name to look or be structured. Another way you can help figure out your business name is maybe asking your family and friends for some advice. I know personally my mom helped me pick my business name with me, but you might be starting your business with your best friend, or you might be really close to an auntie or your uncle, and you can ask them for advice for a name. They might also have some really cool input on something you might not have thought of yourself for your business. So with all that said, how I got my name, Heavenly Boutique, is my name is Heaven, if you did not know. So I thought that having heaven in the business name somewhere would be pretty cool. And I sell a variety of things. I have never like sticking to selling one thing. Sometimes I want to sell candy and sometimes I want to sell bath products, and I'm just always switching around. So having a boutique, I can kind of sell like a variety of items and put it all under one kind of shop. So a boutique worked for me. So that's why I ended up going with Heavenly Boutique, because I thought Heaven or Heaven's Boutique didn't sound as good as Heavenly Boutique. So that's how we came up with the name, and that's the meaning behind my name. My mom helped me pick it out, and yeah, so that ended up working for me, and that's what I use now. So that's the story behind how I got my business name. And that's basically all there is to it, or all I had to it picking my name. It took me about, actually really fast, it took me like about a day to figure out the name that I wanted to name my business, and I kind of ran with it, and I have no problems with it. Also, if you're just starting off, don't be afraid to like change your name, or even if you're not, if you feel like you want to change your name and it's something you really want to do, just do it, because the longer you wait on it, it's gonna just keep eating at you, and you're just gonna keep wanting to change it anyway. So just the sooner you change it, the faster you can rebrand everything. I just recently rebranded my color schemes and stuff for my Instagram, and I'm super happy with it. So yeah, just do it if you want to change your name, but these are what I use to help me figure out my business name. On to the next tip. So the next tip I want to talk about is, what age should I start my business? This was also another question, not a question that I had recently in my comments, but it was something that I noticed, and it was a lot of young people saying like, oh, I'm 10, I'm 11, I'm 12, trying to start a business, I don't know where to start, or I want to start it when I'm older and stuff like that. So I wanted to answer a simple question, is what age can I start a business? And really, any age. It doesn't matter, well, it does matter what you want to do, but you can start your own business and work for yourself and make money for yourself at any age, really, selling the simplest of things. For example, say if you have no money whatsoever, you have nothing at all, maybe like you're really good at like drawing or origami and stuff like that, and a lot of kids in your class seem to like it. That could maybe be the beginning of maybe starting your own business. Maybe you could do commissions for art for kids in your class and make money that way, and then you can use the money that you make to start buying more supplies and then build your business from there. But initially, you can be any age and start a business. You just got to find out what you're good at, and how you can make money off of what you're doing and your startup funds and all that jazz. But you don't have to be 20, 14, 12 to start a business. You can be about 5 years old and have your own business. So don't let your age discourage you or stop you from pursuing owning your own business. And to the next tip. So the next tip we're going to be talking about is buying quantity and how much you should buy starting off. So obviously this is going to change from product to product, and this is also going to be very tailored to your business. So if you're only making about 1 sale a month, then you might not need to buy as many things as somebody who's making 40 sales a month, or someone who's making 500 sales a month. So this is going to be very specific to you. But I don't really have like a graph where I can show you where like, oh, if you're making this amount of sales, then buy this much stuff. But I'm going to give you, again, like I did with the name, some guidelines that you might want to follow through on when figuring out how much you should buy of something. The first thing is you should really assess your sales and what's selling, what's not selling. So obviously the stuff that is selling, you're gonna want to buy more of and restock that more than your other items if it's selling more frequently. Also, depending on your sales, you might want to buy that item in more quantities or less quantities. If you're selling like 10 keychains every month, and you know it's slowly starting to like rise up a bit of it, you might notice you might want to start going from buying a set of 10 to maybe a set of 30 or a set of 40, because usually when you buy stuff more, it gets cheaper and the prices of the item goes down the more you buy. So you just want to like, you know, feel it in, get a feel for it, and then go. But starting off, if you don't have those numbers already, you want to start off with a smaller quantity of something. So maybe if you're trying to add a new item to your shop like eyelashes, you may want to start with selling maybe, depending on your sales also, and depending on like how big your customer reach is. Say if you make about maybe 1 to 2 sales a month, and you reach, maybe have like maybe 1,000 followers, you might want to start off with only 12 eyelashes and then see how those do, and if they do really good, then you can buy more next time. But start off on the lower side, and also do something that makes sense for your budgeting also. If you only have $10 and to buy a set of 10 sets of eyelashes, it's $8.99, and you also have to buy packaging stuff. You may just want to buy a set of 5 for $5.99, and then, you know, buy your other packaging stuff and go off of things like that. So you want to make sure you're starting off with numbers that make sense for you. If you want me to make this into a full video, and if you want to link down your items and like all your numbers and stuff, or email me it, I'll be happy to help you out with that one-on-one, or I can make a video about it or anything like that. But yeah, that's what I recommend you do when you're figuring out how much stuff to buy initially. Also, researching is really good. And researching, like, again, for my phone case business, I started picking off my phones by researching what iPhones people have the most of, because I'm only selling iPhones right now. So when I went on like the website I was researching, it was like, it would say something like, oh, a lot of people own the iPhone 7 Plus. So I brought a lot of 7 Plus cases, and then on the other hand, it's like not a lot of people own the iPhone 4. So I may have only brought a few of those compared to the 7 Plus cases, because that makes sense. So again, you just want to be very sensible about it, make sure your numbers make sense, and make sure you are staying in your budget. So that is my tip for finding out how much to buy of a product when starting off. Into the next tip. So my next tip is going to talk about packaging. So this is going to be kind of an update from my last tips and tricks video, where I talked about if you're starting a business to get your packaging off of USPS, and how it's like giving grace for small businesses starting off, because you know you don't have to pay, your account's free to make, and all you have to do is pay shipping. So this is an update to that video, and I'm here with some new advice. As you might see in the back, I'm changing it up. And if you are starting a small business and you have the money to, it will be cheaper. It might be more expensive initially, but in the long run, it will be cheaper for you. It also is better for you because you get to brand it as well, and that is to buy your own packaging boxes, whether that is packaging envelopes, whether that is bubble mailers or poly mailers, or boxes. Buy your own packaging, and I suggest you buy it off You Pack and Ship. I will have all the links and everything down in the description of this video, but buy your own packaging. I say this because depending on what you're shipping, if you ship items like me, which are basically like very light products, mostly, sometimes most of my orders are underneath a pound, or just around a pound. If you ship items like me, it will be extremely much more inexpensive to ship your own packaging. If your items are about like 5-10 pounds, flat rate might be really good for you. Again, there's a lot of videos talking about when you might want to ship in your own packaging versus when you might want to ship flat rate, because pounds do matter. If you're shipping like a 50-pound item in your own box, it might be more expensive, because when you ship your own box, the price goes by weight, versus when you ship flat rate, doesn't matter when the weight change, the price will stay the same all the time. So depending on what you're shipping, but if you're shipping things that are usually a pound or less, your own packaging is what you want to do. I brought my own boxes and my own packaging off You Pack and Ship, and I have saved so much money. So here I'll show you some of the boxes that I got. So from You Pack and Ship, I got 3 size boxes. So I got, first off, this box. I think this is a 6x6x6 box. I do not remember all the dimensions, but I'll leave my boxes in the description if you want to get these. So it's a pretty decent sized box, as you can see here. Really good. It's pretty spacious inside. It has a lot of space for items to go inside. And I also got a medium-sized box, which I don't have with me right now. But those are like maybe 2 of these, the size of 2 of these. Actually, no. The medium-sized box is maybe just like a little bit smaller than this box. This is my large box, so I use this box to ship large items. Ignore all the stamps on it. I was practicing stuff out on it, but this is the large box I ship stuff in. And I also have a medium box, like I just said, but I brought I think a set of 25 of each box, so a total of 75 boxes, and each box came to, I think, about maybe 50 cents a piece. And I usually only pay $7 in shipping, so around $7 to $6, very cheap shipping, but usually seven at most. So for me to ship my items along with the prices of the box, it only cost me about $8, which if you ship flat rate, I usually use the medium flat rate box, which I know a lot of people use. That's about $13 to ship flat rate. So I am literally saving about $6 every time I decide to ship something out, which adds up, which is pretty insane. So I was super happy that I made the switch. And also the great thing is about buying your own packaging is now you get to brand your own box, because as you know, flat rate priority mail boxes have their own little thing going on with them, so you can't really customize it until you get to the inside of the box. But now you pack and ship boxes have like their own like things, whatever, but mostly the box is mostly white, so you can put your label on here, or if you have custom packaging tape, you can package it with your packaging tape. It just gives you a lot more room to be more creative with your branding and really let people know that, hey, this is my shop, this is my packaging, this is where it came from. Because when people usually get a medium flat rate box, it could be anything, but when they get a box and it's branded, they're like, oh, this is my order from this place. So I really like that about this. So that's one of the pros about ordering your own packaging, is that ultimately if you're shipping about around £1 or less, it's cheaper, and you can brand your own stuff. But I wanted to add something else from this video besides the shipping cost and the pricing of the box, and that is the branding. Something I recommend to you that I personally know I don't think a lot of small businesses have looked into, but when you think about branding your boxes or anything like that, you might think about custom packaging labels or packaging tape and stuff like that. But something that I found to be very good and expensive was getting my own custom stamp. So I'm going to show you that. So this is my custom stamp and my ink pad. Together, I think these were about maybe less than $30, around $30. But this is a 2x2 stamp. The writing's pretty good, and I use this to stamp my packaging, and I use it to also stamp other things. Like, you can make custom tissue paper if you have stamps, so you basically lay your tissue paper flat, and then you can use this and you can have your custom tissue paper with your stamp on it. You can stamp paper bags, basically anything you want to stamp. And you can also get your stamp made in different colored ink. Right here I just have black, but I'm also working on getting pink and gold and stuff. And these ink pads are really inexpensive, so you can get really creative with what you want your stamp to actually look like. And I think it's a really good long-term purchase. And I have the link where I customized my I have the link where I brought my ink stamp from. You will have to customize it yourself, but if you're curious, I can also leave the software I use down below if I can find it, because it was a while ago, but it was free, and I just designed the stamp, and then I saved the PDF, put it into the custom website, and they made it into a real life stamp. And I also brought my ink pad from there. Here you can see on this box, like I showed you earlier, I was actually practicing stamping my design on here. Let me show you a good one that I did. I had to press down pretty hard to get the stamp design to show, but here it goes. This is how it looks on the box. This is Heavenly Boutique, made with love, shop local. And yeah, I also use it on my bags. Here you go, you can see it on a bag. This is not paper, so it didn't really ink well, but you can still see it. And I haven't used it on and if you want me to make a video showing you how to make custom tissue paper with the stamp, I will be happy to do that. But yeah, that's my advice and tips and tricks on packaging updated. So I really hope this helps you. Again, if you have any questions about the things I just mentioned in this video, I have them down in the link below. But with that said, let's get on to the fifth and final tip. Right, so the fifth and final tip I have is Heaven. What should I even sell? So again, like I said before, there's not really a set rule book as to what you should sell, but I'm gonna tell you this: whatever you sell, be passionate in it, because if you're not passionate in it, it will drain your energy a lot more, and it's gonna actually feel like work, and it's gonna feel boring, and you're not gonna want to do it. So whatever you do, be passionate about it. Even if it's something like selling candy or drawing for people or origami, whatever you do, just try to have a little bit of joy while doing it, because it's gonna make the process a million times better versus if you don't like what you're doing. But starting off, it's basically whatever you want to do, but you just want to enjoy whatever you're doing. Like, Heavenly Boutique was not my first business. When I was a kid, I used to sell tons of stuff. I used to sell my old toys at yard sales. I used to sell perfume with my friends at school, and then I sold candy, and then I had a cotton candy maker. I sold cotton candy, and then I also brought snacks. I sold snacks at my lunch. I also and I got all the way up until I had Heavenly Boutique. But let's just say I had millions of businesses to the point where I can't even remember what I did. But there was one thing common with each and every one of them, and you could tell by the way I was selling them, and that was that I was having fun doing what I was doing, and that was making that money. Okay? So even if it's just something, even if you just have joy, like, I liked money as a kid. I liked having money. I liked being able to buy my own stuff. I liked, you know, having that little money roll you wrapped around with those little bead elastics. Yep, that was me. I did not spend my money. Had it right there. Put it in my shoe box, underneath in my shoe. Put it in my shoe box, and that's where I found my joy as a kid. I have a lot more ways I find my joy now owning this business, but you know, if that's what you want to do as a kid and that's gonna motivate you, then let that motivate you. Okay, money is a big motivator, and no one's taking that away from you. But whatever you do decide to sell, make sure you're passionate doing what you're doing, and that's my advice from me to you on what to sell. With that said, you've made it to the end of this video. Again, if this video has helped you or enlightened you or made you feel any type of spark or connection, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. It really helps this channel out so much. And again, let me know some tips and tricks you guys have down in the comments. It will help a lot of people out. It might even help me out, because, you know, I don't know everything, but, you know, definitely might help some people out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.
And I've been chilling, watching the ocean with you. Baby, up with a slow motion crew. And we up in our clouds when people change, but not us. And we just chilling, kicking it, kissed by the sun. Could be soaked to the skin in the mall soon. I know she got the good vibes when seasons change, but we're the same.
Hi everybody, welcome back to another channel. And this person was curious. I'm so sorry for the background noise. So we're gonna have to deal with it.